Hello, everybody. How are you doing? I'm meteorologist Chris Mulcahy, in for Brittany Van Voorhees this morning. And on the Sunday morning, it's just been gross. It has been an interesting start. And I'm going to take the comment from James Brierton. Some really loud thunder last night in South Charlotte. Now, James Brierton works for our station, actually sent us an awesome piece of video from his Nest camera. And boy, was that a loud crack of thunder. So comment below if you were woken up by the thunder, if you lived around Matthews, South Charlotte. For me in Northwest Charlotte, it wasn't so much thunder, it just was pouring down in sheets. So that quick little system gave us some thunder. And also in Morganton around 8:30, there was some thunder and lightning there. So that's incredible with temperatures in the 30s. That shows how unstable it was, at least a little pocket to get some lightning to go along with this. James Brierton says he jumped right out of bed last night. I would too. I was already getting ready, luckily, when the rain rolled in, but it almost sounded like a freight train of rain, not like tornado-esque, but just incredible about how the sheet of rain rolled through. So here's a freeze frame at 3:55 a.m. is where we had that push through. You see that little plus symbol right around Matthews? That's a positive lightning strike. And a positive lightning strike only happens about 10% of the time, but it's 10 times louder, stronger, and brighter than typical lightning. And those are the ones that really rattle the house. So if your house shook, there's a good chance of that from just that one little storm system. So that is what we had at 4 a.m. Now we're looking at a nice little break in the action. So check it out. You don't have much going on right now here on the Doppler radar. We did have a branch of showers that pushed through on and off through this morning. Now we're just dealing with a little bit of a dry slot, rain mainly up in the mountains. This is going to last a while. We were looking at it to have a lull in the rain from, I would say, the mid to late morning. This could continue into the early afternoon. But from that one little system across the 485 loop alone was where most of this rain came down. We had 1.3 inches of rain fall through the morning, at least up to this point after 10 that we're doing this stream. And some areas and some local obs up to 2 inches of rain. And again, a lot of that was from that branch that moved through earlier this morning. So a lot of rain's already fallen, but I'm not really anticipating a lot more to fall for the Charlotte area, maybe up to a tenth to a quarter inch of rain. Meanwhile, the mountains are going to be the main focus for the rest of today because they have that snow potential. And I'm already seeing this from Eduardo, Pizza Man. I can see you wondering about snow. What will we see? Nothing's really changed from yesterday except for less optimism as far as seeing that burst of snow, just because I think of how warm the profile is going to be. Lower 40s still could support a few snow showers, but then meanwhile, the mountains are struggling to get snow and they're much colder than us. They've had a range of sleet. Blowing Rock had that about 10 hours ago. Freezing rain's been reported on Sugar Mountain around Boone up to a quarter inch. And then sleet mixing in with rain, rain and snow. You haven't had the exact profile that could even get it to snow in the mountains. Now, I think eventually this is going to change. So, snow lovers, this is maybe not good for you, even for the mountain forecast if more rain starts to come through. But we still have a winter storm warning that goes until further notice, really later on this tonight, at least till midnight, because I think road conditions are really going to deteriorate. The most recent model that I agree with is really, I think, a 1 to 3 inch range for Boone, Blowing Rock, those areas. And then the higher up, you could have 2 to 4, but then some mountaintops, Grandfather, Sugar Mountain, I think you're going to see 6 plus. So it's still cold enough up there that it's not really a question about what's going to fall and how much is going to fall across the area. So let's get to our snow chances. Let's get to what's going on. Here is the setup. The reason why we're even going to have a snow potential is because what's called an upper level low. If you follow us, that simply means it's in the upper levels, and that often allows colder air to squeeze down. So that's why you see the northern part of this low pressure system, the little smaller one, a lot of snow in the western Carolinas. And as we roll forward for the mountains, really it's by this afternoon that snow will mix with rain, and then eventually I think it's going to be all snow, that it's cold enough up above that even if temperatures are in the mid 30s, wet snowflakes are coming down. That'll rapidly accumulate, easily could pick up an inch per hour in some of these snow bands because the rain's a little bit heavier. But one thing that I think has changed is if you live south of Charlotte, you might stay dry most of the day. So York County, Chester County, because underneath that low pressure system is dragging in some of that drier air. And then once you get to the evening hours, both of these L's are going to combine into one big low pressure system, and then it's clear of the Carolinas. And then the backside of the system has winds out of the south, and that's going to allow us to warm up heading into your Monday. So here it is for our future cast. This is called the HRRR, or the high resolution rapid refresh. This helps us really have a better idea with what's happening with current conditions, and it incorporates into a new hour update. Not much has changed with this. So, Eduardo, I know I'm disappointing you as far as the snow goes. I'm still not going to completely say no snow. It's going to rain most of the day. This has always been mainly a rain event. I think if you see snow around the Charlotte area, it's going to be brief. I like to call it white rain, but let's focus in on the mountains. This is 2 o'clock. The blue shadings, this is called my enhanced snowfall. That is showing some very heavy snow rates at up to about a half inch per hour. But you're also seeing a lot of pink, so there could be still some sleet that limits the snowfall, but you're seeing this for most of the afternoon. Meanwhile, it's all rain because temperature is going to be in the lower 40s for the Charlotte area, and then eventually we're done with the rain by the middle of the evening. Pizza Man says it needs to snow in Charlotte. Well, here's the optimistic model. We always look at a bunch of them. For one, it's not going to be a good day. It's going to be wet. It's going to be breezy. Temperatures in the lower 40s actually feel more like the mid 30s. But notice these spots. Look at Hickory. Look at Statesville. Notice the time. It's 3 o'clock. From 2 to 6 p.m., even as far south as Charlotte, there is a chance, I mean a slight chance, I'm not going to bet any money on this, that you might see a crossover, a changeover to snow. I think this is more likely maybe in Rowan, Iredell County, close to the I-40 corridor. But watch what happens as you continue for the late afternoon. That spot expands. So that's just showing that I think you have a colder air that kind of dips down. So less than a mile above our head, you're going to have wet snowflakes that come down. And at times, these wet snowflakes stick together and you almost have like whiteout conditions as it's coming down, because I think you're going to have decent light to moderate rain that comes along with this. This does touch the northern part of the 485 loop, so it could be a chance that maybe Huntersville sees it, but South Charlotte doesn't. But there's still going to be a chance as that's pushing on through. So I'm not saying that it will happen, but this model at least is showing a little bit of hope that some of us could have a burst of snow if you just really want to see it. And also, it doesn't come with the threats. So you might see snow, but the ground is still going to be acting like it's rain because we're not below that freezing point. And then heading into the evening, things start to wind down. So Eduardo and Pizza Man, thank you for joining me. That's my optimism for maybe a burst of snow. That's pretty much all you got. Meanwhile, we're just trying to get snow going for the mountains and see if they can even get that 1 to 2 inch mark. So our hourly forecast, the blue numbers represent the wind chills. The white numbers represent the actual air temperature, and you can see by that like 3 to 6 o'clock time frame, that's the best chance for rain for the rest of the day, because realistically we could stay dry for a good portion of the rest of today, or at least kind of just that damp feel, but no new additional rain. Here's a look at our futurecast real feel. Notice what happens overnight tonight. Wind chills with that active wind. It's feeling like 16 degrees in Boone, 29 in Charlotte. So the wind chills are just kind of more insult to injury. And then those winds are also going to get a little bit lighter throughout the day. The gusts up to 35 are going to turn more to 25 by the afternoon, and then eventually down below 20 by tomorrow. So this was an easy pick. I usually do my pick of the week. Well, today is the worst day of the week, as you saw that graphic that quickly went by. So the good news about this, I'm not being pessimistic. Since today's the worst, that means it can only get better, right? So our extended forecast, this is crazy. Snow lovers not going to like this, because this is going to give us only 1 week left of February, and the coldest high temperature we have is 53 degrees, where the 60s are more popular than the 50s that we typically have this time of year. So everything is trending warm. Even our low temperatures are definitely going to be on the warmer side of things. Tomorrow, Tuesday, Valentine's Day morning, we're starting off in the mid 30s. The only freezing temperatures we have is Saturday and Sunday, and those are going to be dry. So not great for snow lovers. Our next chance for rain, besides what we have today, will be next Thursday into Friday. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate this. Even if it's just a few of you, Eduardo, Pizza Man, who are commenting from YouTube, that's what it's all about, interacting. I see a lot of passion for you guys. I hope you get that burst of snow. That's always a cool thing to see. My son JT is not seeing snow, so I hope we have that opportunity as well. But even if you don't, there's still at least another half a winter to go. And if you don't want the snow, well, we got some warmer temperatures that are taking that away. Again, I'm meteorologist Chris Mulcahy, guys. It's so nice joining you. Appreciate it. Thank you right back to Eduardo for joining me. And hey, it's Super Bowl Sunday. The weather might not be super, but hopefully you enjoy it. Maybe just eating dip, watching Rihanna, or you like the Chiefs or the Eagles. Enjoy the day, and we'll be back again tomorrow. Take care.